The Chicago Bears lose to the New York Jets by a score of 31-10 in one of the most boring games of the entire season. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears post-game reaction video, which I promise to do after every single Bears game this year, win or lose. If you guys want my thoughts after each Bears game, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. Obviously, I'll keep this video pretty short and sweet because nobody really wants to hear me talk about this game too much, I'm guessing, right? Because obviously, our quarterback of the future, Justin Fields, did not play, which thankfully is what the Bears decided to do. Because you guys saw out there was so many injuries that Bears players suffered because of the bad field conditions at MetLife Stadium. They have a turf stadium, which already, a lot of fans in this league, a lot of players in this league are not a fan of because it contributes to higher rates of injuries. As we have seen this entire year, there's actually been some studies out there that people have published that, have indicated that turf fields do lead to higher levels of injury. So that's already, a big factor. And it was also raining the entire game too. It was actually like downpouring pretty hard after the first couple of minutes of this game. So with how wet it was, with how bad the field was, we had multiple players go down with injury, which I'm really praying that's nothing serious for those guys. Eddie Jackson, Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool later on went down with the injury. Larry Borom went down with an injury. We had, I'm forgetting all the people right now, but we had Dane Cruikshank. We had starting right tackle Riley Reef, he went down too. We had so many players go down with an injury. So I was just thankful that our quarterback, at least our QB1, the guy that's going to be here for the long term, did not get injured, and we chose to not start him. Okay, that was a brilliant move by the Chicago Bears because especially coming off that shoulder injury, it would not have made sense to start your franchise quarterback in a game like this. So props to Ryan Poles, props to Eberflus for making the right decision regarding the starting quarterback. Obviously, I'm not trying to say that his health is more important than the health of everybody else, because obviously I hope that everybody else is okay, but long term for this team, having your quarterback healthy is a big freaking deal. And at least he is going to be healthy going forward, Justin Fields, whenever he does end up coming back. So the injuries did suck, but honestly, I'm not too mad at the final results of this game because, guys, losing this game helps out our future big time. I know that fans do not want to hear about tanking because that's weak. Okay, you never want to root for your team to lose. You want your team to always win, and you want your players to fight hard for the victory. I totally get all those things. But guys, in a game in which Trevor Siemian was starting at quarterback, Trevor Siemian is not going to be the quarterback of the future as we saw in this game, which I'll talk about in a little bit, okay, his performance. But in a game in which your QB of the future is now playing a game in which you have so many guys out due to injury and sitting at 3-8, okay, practically no chance to make the playoffs, I'm totally okay with the Bears losing this game. Call that weak, call that whatever you want, but I'm gonna be happy in April that the Bears lost this game because a win would have really done nothing for us long term. Yeah, it would have been nice in the moment, but guys, the Bears now have the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft next year because the Panthers also won their game against the Broncos. So guys, with the quarterbacks that are going to be available this year, which there's not too many great ones, I would say, besides Bryce Young, but teams fall in love every single year. So all it takes is one team to fall in love with CJ Stroud, with Will Levis, or whoever else is going to be available. And guys, the Bears could get a haul like the Dolphins did a couple years back, 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move from, I think it was like 13 to 3 for Trey Lance. You could get a haul like, other teams have gotten, because guys, a quarterback, okay, moving up for a quarterback is a big thing in the NFL. Teams overpay significantly to move up for quarterbacks, and now the Bears have a pick that a lot of teams are going to covet in this league because they want a quarterback. So I know it sucks right now that we're sitting at 3-9. We're the laughing stock of the league, and a lot of people are making fun of us, but guys, mark my words, man, this is going to be a very different roster next year with all the draft capital that we have and with all the money that we're going to be spending in free agency as well. And the fact that our young quarterback Justin Fields has shown so many signs of development this year and really carrying this offense in a way that no other quarterback really has been able to in Chicago for the last couple of years. That's the thing to be really excited about. So long term, man, I'm still really excited about the future of this team, even though we have massive holes all across the roster as we saw in this game. And with how bad the Bears roster is at this point in time, guys, the Bears could not handle the loss of all the players that we lost in this game, okay? So even before this game, like losing Justin Fields, the best athlete, probably the best player on the football field on the team for us, that was a big loss. As we saw, we only scored 10 points for the first time since over a month, okay? The last month plus has been amazing for us. on the offensive side of the football, mostly because of Justin Fields doing crazy things, running with the football, and also, with how dynamic of an athlete he is. So missing Justin Fields hurt big time. Missing guys like Darnell Mooney for a good stretch of the game, that hurt. Missing Chase Claypool down the stretch. Missing, both of our right tackles. We missed Eddie Jackson, our best defensive player. We missed, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, our 2 second-round picks this year. They were out even before this game. So guys, with how limited the Bears roster already is, obviously we're not going to be able to survive the loss of all of these guys. So I'm not mad at all or disappointed at all that the Bears lost this game by 21 points to a much better roster on paper. Okay, the Jets have a much better defense. They had a top 10 defense going into this game. And yes, allowing Mike White to look like the second coming of Joe Montana is not a good thing, but we already knew the Bears defense was not good, and losing all the guys that we did lose. You're working with basically scraps here, guys, like 7th round picks, undrafted guys, guys on 1-year deals that were reclamation projects. Like, there's only so much a coach can do to scheme inferior talent against much better talent. And we cannot do that in this game, unfortunately, which I'm not too mad about, again, because you need talent in this league to win, and we do not have enough talent on the football team to win these games. Now, I do want to talk about Jack Sanborn on the defense, because this guy is turning into an absolute steal by Ryan Poles. He had 15, I believe. Let me pull out the numbers. Yeah, 15 total tackles in this game. Okay, 10 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Obviously, our defense as a whole was not good, but Jack Sanborn was one of the few people, swarming to the ball almost immediately. This guy's instincts are top notch, and I've been raving about him, obviously, as you guys know, before the season even started, so it's not a big surprise to me. But the fact that this guy is actually looking like a future starter on this team is a big thing for the future of this Bears defense, because that could be one less position that the Bears defense has to worry about, filling in. So love to see that day out of Jack Sanborn. We also had a Bears defensive lineman get a sack today for the first time since week 6. It's been that long, but Armin Watts got a sack today. The only sack on the quarterback today. Okay, so we didn't get pressure on the quarterback for the vast majority of the game, but Armin Watts came through the middle to get a sack on the quarterback, okay, for the first sack by a Bears defensive lineman, again, since week 6. That's how bad the Bears D-line has been. So that's what I'm saying, guys. I mean, that's a lack of talent there. Like, I know that we could be more aggressive in blitzing, but it seems like every time we do blitz, somebody's open immediately, because even with the blitz, we cannot get much pressure on the quarterback. So we need more defensive linemen on this team, more talented defensive linemen that can get to the quarterback a lot faster than the ones we have currently. So Bears defense overall, not good. Okay, we allowed Mike White to look like a really good quarterback. Talking about the Bears offense, for everybody that thought that Justin Fields was the problem with the Bears passing game, which I don't want to say that he cannot improve as a passer, because yes, he obviously can. He can get better, more accurate in terms of, hitting the tight window throws, in terms of reading the field a little bit faster. But guys, Trevor Siemian, which some people told me would fix the Bears passing offense, only had 179 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 bad interception. He missed a bunch of throws after the first couple of drives of this game, which, I'm not going to be overly hard on him, because obviously it was raining outside, which makes it very hard to throw, and he did not have much chemistry going with these guys. But that's the thing, guys. Even a pure pocket passer like Trevor Siemian could not get at least 200 passing yards in this game, because the Bears passing offense is very flawed all across the board. Okay, we don't have the pass blockers up front to necessarily get the time to find these guys open down the field. And even then, we could use a lot more playmakers in the receiver department. And Trevor Siemian is a backup for a reason, guys. Like, in this game, we only scored 10 points, partly because he cannot escape the sacks that Justin Fields could escape and turn into 20, 30, 40 plus yard touchdowns. He cannot keep plays alive that Justin Fields was keeping alive because of his mobility, because of how dominant of an athlete he is. So I thought on this game, guys, it was on full display for the Bears fans, the few Bears fans that thought that Justin Fields was somehow the problem with this passing offense, that this offense has major flaws all across the board. And even a pure pocket passer like Trevor Siemian could not get over 200 passing yards in this game. Now, talking about the Bears players that did well today on offense, obviously Chase Claypool, he only had 2 receptions for 51 yards, but he had a nice jumping catch, a jump ball between him and Sauce Gardner. He went up and caught it over one of the best DBs in the league. Okay, and Sauce Gardner also interfered on that catch, but Chase Claypool, being the big, tall athlete that he is, went up and got that ball, which props to Siemian for throwing that, even though Claypool wasn't really open on that play, for giving his receiver a chance to come down with that catch, which I feel like Justin Fields sometimes needs to do more of, okay, attempting more tight window throws. So love that out of Chase Claypool. He also had a play which could have been called, defensive pass interference as well in the end zone, which would have put the ball at the 1, but sadly that was not called, and we settled for a field goal on the first drive of the game. So Claypool finally made some plays. We had, David Montgomery make a couple plays in the receiving game. We had Darrington Evans looking pretty good today too. Okay, this guy got called up from the practice squad last week. He looked a lot better than Treston Ebner, 7th round pick, ever did so far this year. So maybe, Darrington Evans could be our RB3 going forward. He had nice bursts today that he displayed. He only had 3.8 yards per carry for 34 rushing yards, but he had a nice 33-yard reception, okay, a catch and run, which he took down the right sideline. So he made plays. We also had Byron Pringle, okay, making 2 insane catches in traffic. 1 for a touchdown, 1 for a first down, which I'm kind of surprised that he came down with either of those, because Byron Pringle has been basically a non-factor the entire season. He comes out of nowhere to have 2 of the most impressive grabs of the Bears' entire season. That was kind of random, but overall, only scoring 10 points obviously is not good enough in this league, and that's the major reason, one of the major reasons why we lost today by the margin that we did lose by. And it really makes me miss, man, having Justin Fields as QB1. It's only been 1 game without him, but this game was so boring without one of the most dynamic athletes in the NFL. So let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments down below. Obviously not a good loss, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic, man, about our future right now. And let me know if you guys agree in the comments down below. It was pretty funny that Nathan Peterman almost started this game. It came down to the wire, but Trevor Siemian ended up starting. I think it would have been really funny if Peterman did play, but we probably would have lost like 50-10 probably with how bad Peterman is. But regardless, guys, leave your thoughts down below. As always, bear down.